Day 9. I feel I need to explain myself. I am off centre on my mat because I used to do quite a lot of acting when I was younger, and you just can't upstage anybody. And I really feel like I'm upstaging Daisy from centre. So this is why I am off centre. Don't worry, it's going to annoy me just as much as it's going to annoy you. So we're going to let it go. And we're going to continue with our day 9. I will see you once you've got all your equipment ready. See you in a second. So no matter where you are, whether you are standing or on a chair, I invite you to immediately come into a ragdoll position. So I'll fold forward, let the arms hang loose, let the head hang loose. We're going to take 3 breaths here to bring ourselves into this moment. Breathe in once, 2 more times. Lovely stuff. So if you are standing, take your feet mat distance apart, bring the hips in towards the heels, coming into Malasana or garland pose or yogi squat, your choice of wording. If you're seated, likewise, just come into a little bit of a squat. So feet about the chair distance apart, toes pointing out towards the tentative position. Push down through the feet. Bring your hands to prayer position, heart center. And for those of you on a mat in Malasana, come down to a seated position in your way. It doesn't matter if it's inelegant or not. For those of you on a chair, just come to a comfortable seated position. So anybody on a mat, I invite you to take your legs out long, shift yourselves up towards kind of the front of your mat, legs out long, and then just gradually lower yourselves down to lying down. Really hug the tummy muscles in, shoulder blades down the back. Come to a lying down position. So we've gone from standing to lying in the space of about 5 seconds. Brilliant. I love it. So while we're here, well, now that we're here, hug one knee. So one knee in. So take your hands around your right knee, hug the right knee in towards the chest. And in fact, while we're here, let's do some ankle rolls. So infrequently do we show our ankles any love. And just getting them moving, makes the blood circulate from their feet into the rest of the body. Take those circles the other way. And this is especially good if you do sit down for quite some time throughout the day to just get our blood moving, circulating again. And then find some stillness. Hug that knee in towards the chest. Really hug it in, maybe moving the knee from one side to the other. Maybe taking it in circles if that feels good. If you're doing circles, make sure you take those circles the other way you have to think about getting our hip a little bit warmer than it already was. Lovely stuff. And then again, find some stillness. Flex the toes so they're pointing back towards the knee. And then take your ankle over the thigh. So have your left knee bent if you're on the mat. So left knee is bent, foot flat on the floor. If you're on a chair, ankle comes over your knee. If this isn't going to happen for you, it doesn't matter. Take the foot down on the inside of that foot on the floor and just let the knee rest out. So remember, reverse pigeon, which is what this is, we're just letting gravity do its work. We're just kind of easing the right knee away from the body, just so we're opening the hips up. If you're on the mat, and if it feels good, you can take your hands either side or around the left thigh and ease that left foot up, left thigh in. So left thigh comes in, right knee eases out. If you're seated, if you fancy it, fold forward a little bit to where it's comfortable, to where the hips just start to kind of sting at you. And by sting, I mean scream. And by scream, I mean just tell you that they're uncomfortable. If they're screaming, please ease out and breathe. Lovely stuff. And then if you're lying down, release the left foot, let that foot come down to the mat. And in fact, take that left leg long, hug the right knee in towards the chest. If you're on the mat, right arm goes out along the mat, along the floor. Left hand eases that right knee over towards the left. So you're coming into a little bit of a twist. Same kind of thing if you're on a chair. Cross that right knee over the left. And then just gently ease yourself into a twist so the right hand comes behind you or around the chair. And just ease yourself. And in fact, if you're on a chair, if you fancy it, just take your right arm overhead a little bit, just to get the strap down the side. And breathe. Daisy's dreaming. She's chasing the ice cream van that's coming up the road. She might bark in a second. Anybody for ice cream in December? Yes, please. So release out. Bring your right knee back in, hug it in, and then place that right foot back on the floor. Take a second. And then bring your left knee in towards the chest, hug that left knee in. Same thing. So we'll do some ankle rolls on this side. Ease through any clicks. Loads of clicks. And then take those circles the other way. And then find some stillness. Flex the toes, so they're pointing back towards the knee. And then bring that. We weren't doing that. We were going to do some hip openers first, weren't we? We were going to warm that hip up. So yeah, wherever you are, warm that hip up. Circles one way and then the other. Then we go into reverse pigeon. Always try to warm the hips up before you do any hip opener like this, just because technically it might make it a little bit less uncomfortable. So if you're on the mat, right foot is on the mat, knee is bent, bring that left ankle onto the right thigh. Same thing if you are on the seated, right foot's on the floor, bring the left ankle over the right thigh. This isn't happening for you today. Left foot on the inside of that right foot on the floor, and just let the knee rest open. Find where feels good for you. Breathe. So if you are on the mat and if you want to, take hold of that right thigh, lift that right foot up, hug the right knee in, ease the left knee away from the body. Same thing if you're seated. Easing that left knee away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding forward if that feels good if you're seated. Just to encourage a little bit more hip opening, if you want to. So we are finding the balance between strengthening, between opening out everything, resting. Not just about standing on one leg, is it? And then lift yourselves back up. Hug the left knee in towards the chest. Take the right leg out long if you're on the mat. Left arm comes out along the floor, and with the right hand, ease that left knee over, so coming into a little bit of a twist. If you're on the chair, cross the left leg over the right hand on the knee, left arm comes behind you or overhead, and just twist around towards the left a little bit. Breathe. Lovely stuff. And then unraveling yourselves, hug the left knee in towards the chest, and then place it on the floor. If you are on the mat, hug both knees in towards the chest and take them around in some circles, so you're massaging the lower back. You can kind of do the same thing if you're seated, or you can just move the feet, knees from side to side, just to kind of ease into the lower back. And in fact, if you're seated, you might want to twist a little bit from side to side. Just make yourself feel good, feel loose. And then either way, bring your feet back down to the mat. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Come onto your tiptoes if you're on a chair, and window wipe the knees from side to side. Maybe if you're in a chair, just relax back a little bit. Take it, chill, steady it. Take it steady. Lovely stuff. Fabulous. And then finding some stillness. If you're on the mat, taking your legs out long, arms down by the sides, palms facing up. If you're in a chair, let your back rest against the back of the chair. Hands come to your laps, palms down and palms facing up. Closing the eyes if you're comfortable to close the eyes. Otherwise, taking a soft gaze. And we'll just chill out. Taking 3 conscious breaths to finish our practice. So you can stay here if you want to stay here, or you can move into the rest of the day. Either way, bring the hands to prayer position. Bring the thumbs up to the third eye and open the chest. Just take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, fold forward. Thank yourself for giving yourself this time, and I thank you for joining me.